Hello, welcome to Patrice's Projects. Today's project is going to be transplanting seedlings into bigger containers. And with these seedlings, these are called Canterberry bells. These seeds wouldn't germinate before in regular soil for me, potting soil. And so I was testing the germination rate by you take a plastic bag, and then you get a moist paper towel, you put some seeds in it, and I think I may have put maybe 20 seeds in there or so. Because these are really old seeds, they're like 5 years old, and I didn't know if they would germinate. So I laid the seeds on half the paper towel, folded it over, and I shoved it in the bag, and I put it in a drawer. And it probably took 2 weeks before, maybe even longer, before I started, and I checked them like every 3 or 4 days, and I was doing like 6 or 7 different seeds, and these ones began to germinate, and I thought, well, they had just started, they hadn't rooted into the paper towel yet. So I went ahead and popped them into the soil, and I didn't think that they would actually survive because the way I had germinated them. But here I probably had 5 little plants in there, and 2 survived. And over here, I'm not sure, but I think all 4 survived. There's 4 in here, and I think that might be about how many I had in there. So I was really pleased with that. And these plants, I think I started the seeds early January or into December, and this is now March 14th or 15th, and this is as big as they got, but they're looking really nice and healthy. I've had them under the lights the whole time with all the garden vegetables, and this over here is a cilantro that's going to go in the garden eventually. I need to harden it off, but I couldn't put these little guys in full sun because they're Canterberry bells do. Let's see. Oh, I may have a date on here when I planted these. Nope. Anyway, Canterberry bells, they're part shade to full sun, but you don't put them out. You start them usually in early summer, and you grow them in a protected area without full sun until the end of summer, and then you put them in part shade to full sun. And then the next year is when they'll bloom, the next early summer. Anyway, to get back to what we're doing today. Got sidetracked there. Always do. But more info is good, I think. I have way too many in here, and these are supposed to be spaced every 18 inches when you actually put them in the ground, which hopefully I remember to do at the end of summer. And so what I'm going to do is just put them into cups, little pots with holes in them, and I'll take all my tape off from the other plants that I had in there previous. And the problem I have here is the roots are probably grown together, so I may have to actually wash the dirt away. So let's see how it goes. Okay, let's start with the one with just 2 plants in it and see how those roots are first. I'm going to put it right over the top of this because I'm going to need to shake off a bunch of that soil that's with them. Normally you'd cover the whole thing like that with your fingers and while you're popping it out. I think I can do with this one. Yeah, that came out nice. And it looks like the roots aren't too extensive. Let's start breaking it up and see how it is. Okay, real gently so we don't damage anything. I see roots over here already. So, I don't see anything down here yet. Oh, I'm running into roots. Let's try putting it in water and see how that does to take the soil off, because I've spent too much time trying to germinate these things to lose them now. And so you can see the roots hanging down there. So here's some rainwater. I didn't want to use tap water because I don't want to make these suffer any worse than they need to. And just dissolve the whole thing. like so. And I'm going to hold each plant individually. See, this is going to be difficult with the one with more in it, because look at all those roots. And I'm just trying to gently shake them apart. Hopefully these survive, because I'm seeing just one main root going down from each one, and then it forks out all over the place. So gotten probably as much of the dirt off as I can. Let's see, what roots belong to who? Looks like those roots come from that guy over there. Okay, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Don't want them out of the dirt very long. I'll go ahead and scoop some of this dirt back up. I'm using big containers because I don't want to transplant them again before I put them into the ground. I'm wearing a glove on my right hand because I had a little mishap when I was trying to put a cord through the wall for my son's internet. He got a new computer, and I needed to put the cord through the wall in a closet near his room so that it didn't go all the way up and around the hallway. Okay. Take the little baby, make a nice deep hole right in the center. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing over here. Let's move this over that way. Okay. Deep hole right in the center. And I want to plant it only as deep as it was prior. So gently push the dirt in around. You're gonna hold it by the, you don't want to hold it by the stem, which there really on these is no stem, but always hold your plant by a leaf when you're transplanting if the dirt is coming away from the roots. I'll just wash all that off later. I'm not even going to try and do that today because I want it to get to establish itself in this dirt before. Whoops, there went my bag. And okay, that one there is done. Get some more dirt here. It'd be easier if I took this. Perfect. Tap it down just a little bit, not too hard, because you don't want it to be too hard for the roots to get in there and move around. Get a nice, really deep hole for this one, because this one has a lot more roots than the other one had. Gently put it in there. Push the dirt back up around. And there you go. Hopefully this other one comes out as well. It wasn't that easy, was it? I was going to say that easy, but we'll see what happens. Well, there's a lot more roots on this one exposed than the other, so I'm just going to go ahead and just put it right into here. Start dissolving that. Anyway, I had tried to put a pilot hole in the wall with a nail first, and there's paneling on that wall, and it's an old house, and whatever materials they put into the wall where the fireplace is, next to it there's built-in shelves and such, but there's paneling all the way around. And I went to go pull that pilot nail out of there, and we had a file sitting on the floor because we were going to try and file a hole bigger, and realized that we were in solid wood, so that wasn't going to... Oh, that one came out so easy. Look at that. Nice. Okay, put that over in the dirt for right now. Or put it right into a cup. Okay, I went ahead and finished planting these. The battery on the cute little camera that a good friend of mine had given to me after she saw one of my videos, this cute little flip, that's what I was using to record the other part, just to see how it did, and hopefully it did fine. I haven't checked yet. But other little clips I tried looked great, sounded fine. Anyway, I went ahead and I finished putting the rest of these into dirt in this big pot here. I think I'm just going to try keeping one in the house. Why not? I also have one little one. I ran out of soil, so I'll have to go in and mix some more up. Speaking of soil, it came to my attention that I didn't say what I'm using for soil. So what I'm using is coir, which is the outside, that hairy stuff on coconuts. They take that and then they, I guess they clean it or something because it's, not acidic and not alkaline. And you get it, and then they cut it all up in nice smaller pieces, and you get it in this brick. Mine was like 2 inches thick and 10 inches long, square. And mine came in this really cool bag that expanded. So you open the top of the bag and then you open it all up, and it ends up opening up like a big grocery bag, And so you pour the water in, and the 2-inch by 10 by 10 brick, it was something like that anyway, made two cubic feet of coir, which also called cocoa peat. So it's like peat moss, only it's not acidic or alkaline. So I used that, half of that, and I bought some really cheap potting soil from my Ace Hardware, and mixed those two together. And then what I do is with the little baby, when I plant seeds and such, it's not too fertile for the plants, and then that way they use their little, the seed has enough nutrition in it for the little seedling to get it start, and then after it gets a good start and starts to grow its true leaves, which these would be true leaves, and I don't know if you can, there's a little, you can't see it. Anyway, the seed leaves are the little tiny ones that don't usually look identical to the true leaves that come up next after the first two leaves. But after you get your true leaves, then you can start giving it a mild fertilizer. Liquid fertilizer is the best, so it can take it up into the plant more easily. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is we're going to water these in, and I'll go and get some of the well water, or not well, I don't have a well. I'm going to go over and get some of the rainwater that I collected in a barrel and bring that over here, and then we'll water these. Okay, I rinsed out that measuring cup, and now I'm going to go ahead and water these guys in a little bit. I don't have my tripod handy, so if I'm videotaping the wrong place, I do apologize. This one has holes in the bottom, so the way you know you've watered it enough is when it just starts to come through the holes at the bottom, which should be relatively soon. Oh. Okay, let's wait for just a little bit. Not quite there yet. And you can tell by the weight. You get used to how the plants, actually, before you water them in, you know what it feels like when it's pretty dry. That one's good. That one's good. And so I'm putting about that much water. And I test. That one's just about there. Turn it around. Water over here. This little guy. almost. Oh, that one kind of collapsed. Let me push the soil back up there. Alright, and this one has its own little container on the bottom, so it is a little easier with these because, first of all, they don't make a mess all over, and it has that catchment so that if you do overwater just a little bit, then the water just sits down there, and when the plant starts to dry out, it'll just take the water back up into the pot. So, okay. Hopefully these guys do well, and thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. If you like the video, please subscribe, comment if you'd like. I'd really appreciate some advice, and I will see you next time. That's how I do it.